Hey guys, so I'm finally getting to go to the Bahamas with my family, and being the ecology expert, they have been asking me tons of questions about what are they going to see when they're snorkeling and scuba diving every day. And the one thing they're really going to see are artificial reefs. Now, artificial reefs are just anything unnatural for a start of an ecosystem. This can be oil rigs, this can be cinder blocks, and right now, one of the main ecosystems that we see in the Bahamas are seagrass ecosystems. Now, Dr. Craig Lehman just did a study on seagrass ecosystems and the nutrient cyclings within them. And what he used is an artificial reef made out of cinder blocks, and multiple of them. So he looked at how these fish communities have any form of influence on these seagrass ecosystems. So what we see is that when these fish communities are really low, their nutrient levels that they're producing, basically their waste and their pee, are not as high as they should be, and therefore the roots of seagrass will be a lot larger than the blades. Whereas if you had a higher biomass and a higher production, you would have more production of the leaf blades and seagrass instead of the roots because there's more nutrients in the water. Now, looking at how seagrass is affected the closer they are to a artificial reef, you're going to have more of this seagrass production the closer you are to the reef, relative and corresponding with how many fish that you have at that reef. If it's a brand new reef, you're not going to really see any difference, but if there's a lot of fish at this reef and it's been there for quite a while, you're going to see that there's more seagrass around this reef in a pretty good diameter compared to far away. Now, this is mainly because nutrient cycling and self-reinforcing feedback loops. Now, this feedback loop is simply putting nutrients into the ground for the seagrass to be produced, which then gives resources to the fish itself. And it's a constant cycle. Now, if you have a higher fish biomass, you're going to have more nutrient production in the waste. This is going to give rise to more and more seagrass, which can give a habitat for a lot of invertebrates. These invertebrates are what the fish feed on. So if you have more seagrass beds, you're going to have more invertebrates, therefore more fish, therefore more nutrients, and it's this constant loop that's keep reinforcing itself. So overall, while we're scuba diving, we're going to see a lot of these artificial reefs, and if they have been there for a while, we're going to see this massive seagrass ecosystem that has a lot of biodiversity and a lot of production.